Hi, it's Ryan with MVD here at Magewell's booth, InfoComm 2025, where we're looking at their produce and present category of devices. So first up within that category, let's take and talk about USB Fusion. USB Fusion is a multi-input USB presentation switcher, but it also has this really great companion app that allows you to change the sources that you're seeing. So I can use the physical buttons to change sources. I can also touch on the screen itself. I can even do things like bringing in graphics, pre-recorded video content. As you're seeing here, this is a web page. I'm also able to navigate the web page just like I was. I can click into boxes. So really great for people who want to bring up content, dynamic content, and go through that on screen. The traditional thing of having just a clicker per se or a little laser, well, that doesn't work on LED walls you're beside it, and you also have to turn away from the people that you're trying to look at. Well, with this, you simply have a tablet, and now you're able to interact with everyone in the audience, have a confidence monitor, and do more dynamic content. USB Fusion has 2 HDMI inputs, a USB webcam input. It has a USB out for, like say, a computer to stream that content or bring that into Zoom. And then it also has an HDMI out that can be separate than the USB for its content. So that's USB Fusion along with its companion app. Now continuing on in that category is going to be the Director. So we'll switch over to the Director. We now have a family of devices. We talked a lot in previous shows about the Director Mini, which is a handheld size, all-in-one production switcher. Well, now it's got a big brother, the Director One. What we changed with the Director One was we added a larger screen. We more than doubled the brightness of the screen, 800 nits. We added a 4G global modem to it and a dedicated HDMI output. The other thing that we've done is released the new all-software firmware version for it, 3.1, which had an enormous amount of enhancements to this. In fact, you can now even tether an iPad device to Director One and use that as a large touchscreen monitor, and so many other cool features that the users have asked for. So taking a look at Director One, we're seeing that we're able to switch sources. We'll put that up on the screen here. We're able to switch sources back and forth. We can bring in PTZ cameras. We can even control PTZ cameras. So on screen, you're seeing that we're able to trigger different presets. We can also manually control the camera and move that around. It's also got a full audio mixer here. We're also then able to bring in graphics. Great thing is we can bring in NDI graphics with alpha layers or web HTML graphics. It also has a graphics engine built in. So we can bring things like scoreboard. We can even go down and we can control the scoreboard. So we can change the score easily on screen. We can bring in home teams, logos, and icons of all of that. We can also do something like a ticker. So we can have a smooth scrolling ticker across the bottom. This unit will record. It has ISO recording up to 2 channels. It also streams. It's NDI. It can bring SRT in and out, RTMP, just a ton of different options. Physical into the device. In fact, if we looked at the inputs, you're seeing that we can do HDMI, webcam, video clips, NDI, web page, just like the Fusion, multi-view, but we can bring in SRT sources, mobile phone cameras using the Director Utility app. The app isn't just for the control of the device, but in fact, you can even bring in mobile phone cameras to it as well. If that wasn't enough for control, recently Magewell announced the addition of the Stream Deck module. So now you can build out all of your buttons on Stream Decks to do things like, say, adjust the audio parameters, which is really fantastic when you want that finite tactile control of 1 dB level changes. You can now do that with something like the Stream Deck Plus. We also have the full web interface, so I can control everything on this device right from the web interface. So what we'll see, we'll pop the scoreboard on here in the upper corner, and you're seeing me change the scores in real time through this web interface. What I really love is that these devices are available on Control Hub, so check out a separate video on Control Hub, but you could remotely manage these devices from anywhere in the world using Control Hub. So literally you could ship out a kit with a couple cameras and be wherever you want to be to produce that event and live show. So I mentioned the phone app. All of those features are also here as well for a tablet optimized experience. Well, that's a lot of information on the produce and present category. If you want any additional details, be sure to visit magewell.com or visit us online at mobilevideodevices.com.